The state of Texas executed 23 people back in 2004 on Governor Rick Perry's watch, and at least one of them might have been an innocent man. Now accusations the governor is standing in the way of truth for the sake of politics. Well, here's CNN's Randy Kay.
This is the question. Is Texas Governor Rick Perry, a Republican in a tough re-election fight, trying to cover up the execution of an innocent man on his watch?
This is a clear case of the governor sabotaging a public agency in order to cover up the findings for his own political advantage.
Here's what happened Friday morning. The Texas Forensic Science Commission was supposed to hear the latest findings on what really happened in the small town of Corsicana, Texas, nearly 18 years ago in 1991. Still a question because the original investigators said an arson fire killed 3 baby girls. It took a jury less than an hour to convict their father of arson homicide. But since then, 3 forensic investigations found there was no evidence of arson. None. One of those reports even came before Cameron Todd Willingham was executed. Still, the governor stands by his decision. Friday, for the first time, the state's own hand-picked expert was to present a scathing report that showed, once again, no evidence of arson. But 48 hours before the scheduled meeting, Governor Perry stopped the entire process, removing 3 of the commission members.
Those individuals' terms were up, so we replaced them. It's not nothing out of the ordinary there.
Governor Perry's critics suggest he's trying to delay and maybe even derail the state's own investigation. Willingham died by lethal injection after Governor Perry refused to grant him a stay. Even though he was presented new evidence, the fire was not arson. Scott Cobb heads a group pushing for a moratorium on executions. Cobb says Perry's move was politically motivated.
Governor Perry saw the writing on the wall. He moved to cover that up.
If the commission had proceeded, the state's final report may have been released just weeks before the governor's primary election. And if it found it was not arson, critics say that would prove Perry is the first governor in history to preside over the death of an innocent man.
And I think that's what he's afraid of.
There really is no excuse for a delay. Here finally is a case with overwhelming evidence that an innocent man was executed by the state of Texas.
Keeping them honest, we tried to interview Governor Perry, but his office said they couldn't make it work. He has said there was overwhelming evidence Willingham was guilty. But one of the investigators who reviewed the case over the years called it BS, bad science. As for the state's expert who was supposed to formally deliver his findings Friday, he said the fire marshal who testified at Willingham's trial had an attitude characteristic of mystics and psychics. So will the commission ever hear this report? Maybe not. Governor Perry's new commission chairman, a political ally, is the man who postponed Friday's hearing indefinitely and told CNN he couldn't begin to guess when it might be rescheduled. 5 years ago, when Cameron Todd Willingham was executed, he said, "I am an innocent man convicted of a crime I did not commit." Governor Rick Perry's future may depend on a dying man's last words.
Randy Kay now joining us live from New York. So, Randy, the timing of this certainly makes you wonder, did Governor Perry have to remove these people just because their terms were up?
Actually, Kira, he actually could have reappointed them, it turns out. One of the commission members who the governor removed told us that he had called the governor's office and told them that making a change at the commission now would, quote, disrupt the work they've done on this case, but that didn't seem to change the governor's plans to do so. But there is no law, it turns out, or any type of regulation in place that would have required the members to be replaced or step down once their terms expired, which is why the timing of this raises so many questions, just 48 hours before the big hearing on that controversial execution. And Kira, the governor still hasn't made time to speak with us.
And also you mentioned the governor is in a tight race to hold on to his seat. The state's final report could have come out right in the middle of his primary race. So what has his opponent said? If he's not speaking, maybe the opponent has said something.
She certainly is. He's running in the primary against fellow Republican Kay Bailey Hutchison, and we called her office about this, and they gave us a statement. It reads, "The recent events surrounding the Texas Forensic Science Commission are both disappointing and disturbing. The governor's actions have cast a cloud over the entire process, It's a sad day for Texas. And that's coming from another candidate who is also, Kira, in favor of the death penalty. So that's a pretty big statement.
We'll follow it. Randy, thanks.